I've been helping people with money for more than 20 years, but no one stumped me more than the princess.
I love shopping. It's just so much fun. I love clothes, and I love buying makeup, and I love buying shoes.
I'm here to help this princess take control of her money and her life. Over the next 4 weeks, she'll live on a strict cash diet and complete weekly challenges.
She doesn't save for what she wants.
If this princess has what it takes, I'll transform her from spender to saver, and I'll give her up to $5,000 to help her pay down her debt. Do you use your hissy fits to get what you want? No changes, no money.
Oh, 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 she's a princess. She's a princess.
Meet Princess Ashley.
My name's Ashley. I'm 25. I work in retail management.
Ashley is very much addicted to retail. Definitely a lot of shoes, high heels, and pumps.
Like walking into a shoe store.
Head to toe all the time in designer clothing.
I do yoga 4 to 7 times a week. I love it. It's such a big part of my life.
But instead of relaxing her, she's even found a way to turn yoga into an excuse for consumption.
I don't have time to do laundry. It is so much easier to have a lot of clothes to select from.
She also spends a lot of her money like at bars and stuff.
I like to go out with my friends. I like to go dancing, and usually it involves taking a cab. I live in the suburbs, so a cab ride is really expensive. It's just more convenient.
She goes out to dinner and lunch, I think, an awful lot.
I don't like to cook.
So her Prince Charming comes to the rescue.
He definitely spoils Ashley. I know he takes her like out a lot.
She might hint towards me, if not flat out ask for me to buy her something.
Do you want to pay for it for me? I'd really appreciate it if you did.
Kind of put my tail between my legs and just suck it up and pay.
And the pampering doesn't stop there.
I need to get the car fixed.
Okay.
If I ask my parents for something, they'll give it to me, whatever it is.
We bought the car she's driving now.
We had helped pay her university tuition and her bills. I did have to co-sign for her student line of credit.
I live rent-free because after university, I moved back home while I pay off my debt. Now it's been 3 years and I haven't paid off any of my debt, and I've actually acquired more.
And while Ashley's spending increases, her family's circumstances have changed drastically.
My mom's under a lot more stress ever since my dad's been out of work.
We just can't accumulate any more debt. We're just asking her to, pay room and board.
I think it's so unfair. I'm already so stressed out.
You have to think about what the family's going through right now. Your sister going to university. It's not just all about Princess Ashley.
I just think that's so unreasonable.
They're fed up, so they've called me in.
She can't keep living here and not paying for what she's responsible for.
She just needs to be on her own and stand on her own 2 feet.
If she doesn't bring a little bit more to the table and start helping out with our relationship, then I'm just not going to be able to do it anymore.
I've brought Ashley here. It's time for her to see how she's affecting everyone around her. Hey, Ashley, Gail Oxlade.
Nice to meet you.
Your parents are going to be very happy that I came into your life. You do throw hissy fits when you don't get your way, right?
I have thrown a hissy fit or two when I
And you
don't
cry?
get it right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've cried.
You are a spoiled baby. So what we're going to do now is listen to what some of the people in your life have to say. Let's see what Mike says.
I have a hard time saying no to Ashley. There's a little bit of a sense that her feelings might change towards me if I don't provide the lifestyle that she is interested in living. So I try to keep her as happy as I possibly can. But I'm in a really tough time financially right now, and if things don't change, I would have to consider ending the relationship.
It was hard because I honestly can't picture my life without him.
You have a younger sister?
Yes, I have 2 younger sisters.
What does it feel like being the idiot older sister?
It sucks.
Let's see what your sister says.
My dad lost his job a couple of months ago, and I don't think Ashley has really been more compassionate towards my parents. She still expects them to pay off some of her bills. She doesn't really care about the effects of herself on other people. I don't look up to her like that.
Why wouldn't you think it's partly your responsibility to step in and help now? Hasn't your mother asked you to pay rent?
She did ask me to pay rent.
How much did she ask you to pay a month?
$200.
Are you seriously trying to tell me you couldn't come up with $200 a month for your mother?
We're struggling right now. You worry about losing your home and You know, where do you go from there?
With only one major income, now things have got to change.
We're not asking for handouts or loans, just asking her to be responsible for what she should be responsible for. We can't borrow anymore. So we weren't able to co-sign a second line of credit for Ashley's sister, who has gone off to university. And if Ashley doesn't take care of this loan, her sister's university is at risk.
I'm somewhat disappointed.
So when you listen to them talk, what's going through your head at that point?
That I didn't really need to do this.
Yeah. So are you really sorry for what you've done?
No.
Okay. So let's see what we can do next, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Before I help you by fixing her, I want to show you how bad it is. And that's how we come to the numbers. Ashley, tell me how much you're saving every month.
0.
0.
I was of the impression she was saving something.
Yeah, you was lied to. Despite the fact that you don't have a car payment and you're not paying your own insurance, you're still managing to spend 21% of your income on transportation. That's all cabs, parking, play. Your needs are only $383, which leaves you over $1,900 to spend on your every whim. So despite the fact that you live at home rent-free, you're still managing to spend 70% more than you make.
Wow.
Which is why you're racking up debt. She has increased her debt by almost 50% while living at home, not paying rent. I want to make a point about the student loan payment, okay? You usually make a payment of about $132. Do you know how long it'll take to get the debt paid off? 164 months, 14 years.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, I love her so much, but I'm not signing up for 14 years of that. I'll tell you that much.
You're quite happy to walk around with that debt for a really, really long time because it gives you the cash flow to go spending money on all kinds of rubbish. You know that $200 that you've been asking her for every month? This is your spending for 1 month. In this month, you spent $157 on beauty. You spent $215 on cabs and parking.
Wow.
Oh my God.
It's just money thrown down the drain. That $200 a month could go to much better use.
But my favorite number of all is in this month, you spent $486 on clothes.
Oh my God.
This is what you're going to inherit.
No.
Scary stuff.
I do think that's ridiculous, spending that much money on clothes.
So you're telling me that $1,924 is what she spent for 1 month?
So your daughter living under your roof, taking money out of your other 2 daughters' pockets for school, spent on rubbish.
I didn't realize that it was as bad as it is. Extremely surprising that she has spent that kind of money. Wasting.
You've been earning $30,000 a year gross. You would have to earn $90,000 a year, 3 times your income to live the way you've been living.
It's like nearly 3 times what she's currently making. So, you know, that was definitely a shocker to hear that.
And to also get your debt paid off, you'd have to be making $118,000 a year. If you were paying your own way and using credit to fill the gap, you'd be going into debt to the tune of $42,000 a year.
Wow.
You guys have to promise me right now that you're all going to keep your hands out of your pockets. You think you're going to be able to stay out of it?
Deal.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to have to.
Over the next few weeks, I'm going to give you a series of challenges to do. You do the challenges to my satisfaction. I'll give you up to $5,000 to help you pay down the debt. You don't do the challenges, you don't get the money. You don't have the right attitude, you don't get the money, okay? So this month, we're going to get you to recognize that you need to start contributing to your household, more than just money. You need to adjust your expectations of what your life should be like. And you need to stop dreaming about the things you want to do and start doing some of them, okay?
Okay.
Now, do you think you're ready to hear your first challenge?
Yes.
Coming up?
So that brings you to a total of...
Oh, she's a princess. Oh, she's a princess.
25-year-old Ashley spends her cash even faster than she earns it.
It just feels really great to buy new things.
I think I need a new pair.
Maybe I'll take 2. Her reckless spending has worn out her credit cards and her loved ones.
You need to step up to the plate. You need to take responsibility.
Fed up, they've put a stop to it.
You know, I'm ready to put my foot down.
My parents just need to cut her off.
Ashley is cut off.
Whatever support she was getting ends.
I've got 4 weeks to whip her into shape. If this princess completes all my challenges, I'll give her up to $5,000 to pay down her debt. So now it's time to get real, and we'll start with you giving me your credit cards. Great. I have for you $20. That $20 has to last you for the whole week.
I'll just have to sit at home on the couch. It's gonna suck a lot.
This week, you're also going to open up 2 savings accounts, one in each of your sisters' names. Because you had your help, it's your turn to pass it on.
Okay.
So here we come to your Get Real challenge. You have to make your budget, but you also have to sit down with your parents and make a family budget.
Sounds good.
This is your opportunity to put your money where your mouth is. The Get Real challenge is designed to snap my princess into reality. At 25, Ashley is old enough to be paying her own way. And with only one income supporting the household and siblings headed to university, it's more urgent than ever that Ashley contribute. So she sat down with her parents to build a family budget.
Prior to this, I don't think she had any idea of what it really takes to run a household.
We did consolidate our debts. We did have our credit cards paid off. And
now
with the unemployment and income being, down to half, lots of times we're using our credit card for groceries, gas. Before you know it, it just blows up.
Making the budget proved to be eye-opening not only for Ashley, but also for her parents.
Mortgage and property tax,
$13.40,
electric and utilities,
be $100 a month.
maintenance.
Our condo fees are $407 a month.
It's just surprising to me to see how expensive everything is. It kind of just puts things into perspective, really.
So that brings you to a total of negative $1,156 a month.
A month. That's pretty bad.
It's really important for them to make the changes that I'm making along with me.
You can definitely see how my rent would help a lot, and paying the car insurance.
The lesson is really cemented in that brain of yours, and yes, I'm looking forward to your new attitude, I must say.
In addition to contributing to household expenses, I asked Ashley to open 2 savings accounts for her sisters' educations and deposit $150 each monthly.
Now that she's opened up this new bank account, I feel more at ease because at least there's some money that's going towards my education. I don't have to worry about all the expenses on my own.
When you sat down to do the family budget, you had a huge awakening.
Definitely, I think just seeing how much money my parents spend, I can't depend on them for anything because they're paying for 4 people already.
Your attitude has changed completely.
It has. It's been a great week, to be honest with you. It's been really good.
Well, I'm very pleased. I think you've done a great job. So you want to hear what your next challenge is?
Yes.
So you have a long-term goal of opening up your own yoga studio.
Yes.
I want you to create a plan of opening up your own yoga studio. I'm going to help you with this goal-setting process by sending you somewhere that you can get a first-hand glance at what running a studio looks like.
Okay.
Coming up, is Ashley's dream all it's cracked up to be?
I didn't think that those renovations would be expensive.
Oh, she's a princess. Oh, she's a princess.
Princess Ashley pushed her credit, her family, and her boyfriend to the limit.
Ashley's receiving a great deal of help from her parents and a great deal of help from me. I think that's kind of holding her back from going out and achieving on her own.
Her priorities were partying and purchasing. But now she's living on cash. And with just $20 a week, it's a whole new life.
Ashley, now that she's on her $20 budget, definitely does a lot of window shopping. I could picture you wearing these.
Me too.
Oh my, that's expensive.
Well, it definitely doesn't fit into my $20 a week budget.
She's really taking this seriously. I guess she's better to be around because she's funnier and she's more easygoing.
Her parents pulled the plug on her insurance and gas allowance, so now she's on the bus.
The last time Ashley was using public transit was in high school.
When I'm standing outside and it's cold and raining, I miss my car.
I think it's like kind of funny that Ashley has to take the bus because she's had this car that my parents have paid for so long.
Like, it just takes so much longer to do everything when you're taking the bus.
If you had good spending habits, you wouldn't be here in the first place.
Have a point. Point taken. Suburbia and public transportation don't equal happiness.
She has a goal of one day owning her own yoga studio. But all she's done so far is buy a lot of flashy yoga gear. To succeed at this challenge, Ashley's going to have to prove to me that she's prepared to stretch herself to the limit. As part of her goal-setting process, Ashley met with yoga instructor and business owner Linda.
Before you even begin to write your business plan, you want to really have a strong understanding of what it's going to cost to open this business. Unless you have all of the capital required yourself, then it makes sense to apply for a loan. Your credit rating, it must be in good standing.
Knowing that you need to have that good credit and you need to be debt-free definitely increases like my sense of urgency in getting the debt paid down.
Like, how much did it cost you? I guess you're starting.
Between $150,000 to $250,000.
When is that kind of point where you stop spending all of your money and putting it into the business and you start being able to pay yourself?
Realistically, it's anywhere from 3 to 5 years before you start paying yourself anything really above and beyond a basic cost of living. Teaching yoga, it's one small part of a much larger job description. In the beginning, you're the receptionist, you're cleaning the floors, organizing the studio, you're managing the books, you are figuring out how you can grow your business.
There's a lot of work that you have to do on the side, marketing and networking, to make sure that your business is successful. I definitely feel more committed to my goal of opening a yoga studio, more so now because I have a plan.
It's a week later. Time to check in. Tell me what you learned this week.
I learned that planning first a goal and putting dates to it and actually even looking into how much it would cost just makes it a little bit more real and actually being able to see that realistically I could do this.
Yes.
So that was kind of
Heartening. Want to know what your next challenge is?
Yes.
Yes.
You put $60 a month into your budget for entertainment. So this week is your attitude adjustment challenge.
Okay.
Mike's been trying to impress upon you how important it is that you take pleasure from the small things. So this week what you're going to do is you're going to have a little party at home.
Okay.
And you're going to entertain Mike and maybe a couple of other friends.
Cool.
Okay?
It's very hard for Ashley to want to spend a night at home.
Ashley typically spent upwards of $100 on a night out on the town.
So I have $12.
It'll definitely be a challenge to have an entertaining night on such a small budget.
I'm gonna make a stir fry. I think a stir fry is cost effective.
Usually what happens is I'm the one in there and she's the one in my place. I can't wait for this to become a regular thing.
Cooking's not as bad as maybe I thought it was.
I've known Ashley for over 10 years. I've never seen her cook.
Something smells good.
Ash, Jen's here.
Oh my God. Ashley, I never thought I'd see the day. This looks so good.
Vegetables are steaming, tofu for the stir fry, and rice.
You have to send this to Paul and maybe my mom. You're already like a real cook.
Hey Ash, Jarrell and Nikita are here.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Good. That's so good.
I think I might cook again.
Cafe Ashley gets 4 stars and 2 thumbs up.
I agree. I can't believe she made it, and I can't believe she made it on such a tight budget. I'm really proud of her. I'm really proud.
Ashley served a ton of food because she's still learning how to portion size, but it was good. It was really good.
I could not make a meal for $12 for 5 people.
I can teach you my way in.
It wasn't easy, but she managed to have a great night in with friends for the bargain price of just $12. Coming up, this isn't always my favorite part.
Oh, 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 she's a princess. Oh, 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 she's a princess.
4 weeks ago, Ashley was a 25-year-old princess who lived at home and refused to pay rent, even after the household income was cut in half. I challenged her to pay her own way, plan for the future, and learn to have fun on a budget. So has she done enough to earn the full $5,000? Before I make my final decision, I'm going to have a word with her parents and boyfriend Mike. So have you seen a change in her?
Oh, very much so. I have seen a change in her.
What changed?
I think her attitude changed. That's the biggest change.
Okay. She more thoughtful?
Yeah, in every way. everything has changed.
Okay. Is this a girl worth keeping now?
She's gone from a girl in question to a girl definitely worth keeping.
Okay.
For sure. And I got an amazing meal last Friday night.
I heard.
And it was very flavorful, and she needed little to no guidance.
So let's bring Ashley in and see what she has to say.
Okay.
Come in, beautiful girl.
I think this was a great life experience. I have a plan to be debt-free in the next year, and it's going to transform my entire life.
What was the biggest lesson you learned?
If I want to be successful and I want things, I have to plan for them. I can't just buy them on
You came into this with a dream and no foundation. And now you have a really concrete plan.
I do. I feel like I'm like a real adult.
Yeah, because you are. And Mike seems to think you're a keeper now.
Sure.
So, you know, this isn't always my favorite part. Sometimes people can be very disappointed, but not today.
Oh my God!
You're welcome.
Yes, Gail saved my life. I feel like I was headed for just a life of being in debt all the time.
So why so emotional about this?
It's definitely very comforting to know that she can work so hard towards something.
Yeah, something real.
Yeah, like maybe our relationship now till forever, so.
Right.
She's just so much more open-minded and willing to make sacrifices, so yeah, excited.
Keep moving towards your goal. I think you're going to be a phenomenal success.
Thank you. I don't really think I'm a princess anymore. Just maybe like a little princess who spends her money responsibly.
I can tell she loves to go shop. She's all out of control. She can't stop. Designer clothes, jewels, hair. She's throwing money everywhere. My head is spinning. Oh, 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 oh. She's a princess. She's a princess. Modern day princess.